Suplah, bringing you the latest in wrestling news, reviews, and rumors by annoyed fans.
For annoyed fans.
Let's get it on!
Bring it!
Hello wrestling fans, and welcome once again to another edition of the Suplah. I am Andy Juan, and with me is the man they call Sam Brooks.
Aren't you glad that we live in an area of the world where earthquakes aren't commonplace?
That does fill me with joy.
I want you to take a look around your room right now, and this is everybody listening as well. I want you to take a look around your bedroom, office, bus, wherever you listen to this show.
Okay.
I want you to just have a look around and think, if an earthquake were to hit in 10 seconds, I have no warning at all, how fucked would my belongings / bus be?
Pretty fucked, yeah. I mean,
you don't have anything nailed down at all. There's no lashing straps. There's nothing there. All my pop vinyls are going to fall off the shelf. All my precious artwork off the walls.
I mean, my cat's
My
sat
Google
here.
Home's going to freak out. You have a cat. You have a pet.
Yeah.
Surely you must have some sort of insurance if an earthquake does strike good old Blighty.
I don't know. I have pet insurance, but I don't know if it covers earthquakes.
I think John Tenter would really know that. But there's a reason we're talking about earthquakes. It's because at today's New Japan Pro Wrestling event, an earthquake happened. Not just at the event, it was throughout the entirety of the country. Should probably make that clear. A magnitude 6.9 nice earthquake. It strikes off of the coast of Japan, the meteorological agency confirms. The strong quake, which was initially recorded with a magnitude of 7.2, hit at a depth of 37 miles off of the coast of the Miyagi Prefecture, local authorities confirmed. An earlier tsunami warning for parts of the country has since been lifted. And this is, of course, today of all days, the semi-finals of the New Japan Cup Pro Wrestling Tournament. It was a match featuring Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kazuchika Okada, and Kota Ibushi taking on the Bullet Club of Jay White and others. And during this match, you could see the camera slowly zoom out and pan up whilst it's shaking, and you can see the fucking ceiling is just shaking all over the fucking place. It's actually terrifying. They're in the middle of a match, working some shots, and then everything stops. And it didn't resume until for about half an hour after the fact.
Well, that sounds fucking terrifying.
Wouldn't you freak out if, it's not some fancy pyrotechnics, it's not some weird interference, it's a fucking natural disaster, bro.
It's Mother Nature being a complete twat.
It's Mother Nature doing a run-in on the Bullet Club.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying. That actually sounds like the worst thing ever.
And plus, there's video footage of it, obviously. It was a live event, and you could see sort of all of the wrestlers in the ring just sort of look up and look at the massive jumbotron that's above them and think, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be in this ring right now. And they all just they go out to the sides, they go to the barricades. You've got Tanahashi and Ibushi calming people down, as the babyfaces would do. You got Jay White sneaking to the side, trying to steal the title belts. That's way to kayfabe it, Jay. That's pretty good. I mean, like that.
Yeah. If you're gonna, go out doing your job properly. I suppose there is that. I guess instead of going that's what I would do. I'd probably.
He died doing what he loved, being crushed by the lighting.
Exactly. But I don't know. I mean, that sounds pretty bad. I mean. We have had earthquakes here, though, haven't we?
In the land of England, we must have done. Thing is, geographically, if you're not familiar with how earthquakes work, is if you're in a land that is on the border of the tectonic plates, which make up the crust of this A loaf of bread we call the Earth.
Loaf of bread. If you think it's a loaf of bread, dude, we no.
It's a round loaf of bread. It's not a flat loaf of bread.
Yeah, fair point. But the fact you're calling it bread is
I'm doing it for the children that are listening.
They shouldn't be listening. Like, they should go away. You shouldn't be listening to this. Go play Fortnite or something. Fuck off.
Go play Fortnite, you fucking turd.
Wow. I thought I took it too far, and then you made it a whole new thing.
Stussy in the chat says, my figures, manga, and movie collection, they would all be ruined if I were to be hit by an earthquake. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, it's lucky that we don't have anything like that. But you say this, you ask if any UK earthquakes have happened. They happen, but they are so insignificant and so, like, they're below magnitudes of, like, 4.
I think we had one that was...
Looking at this map, the last one that was over magnitude 4 was in 2008 in Market Racing.
What?
You're looking at Dudley in 2002. You've got
Dudley?
Dogger Bank. Dogger Bank.
Dogger Bank. That sounds like a bank for dogs.
I'm glad you're thinking of that. I'm thinking of something entirely different.
I just thought of like a big bank with dogs in trying to cash in their checks or something.
Bless you. You're so mentally young.
No.
You got Carlisle in 1979, Hereford in 1896, the Dover Straits in the 1500s. We get fuck all, really. What we get are the tornadoes and the monsoons and all of that shit.
What?
How many pro wrestlers are named after natural disasters, by the way? Because both of those are pro wrestlers.
Let's see. Natural
disasters. There was Earthquake, John Tenter, who was also Tugboat, wasn't he?
Tuggers, yeah.
The Hurricane.
Yeah, the Hurricane. The Human Tornado, I suppose.
Yes. Pretty sure there's a volcano wrestler, isn't there?
I don't know.
There's gotta be a tsunami as well.
I don't know if there ever has been a volcano wrestler. I could be wrong.
I mean, the natural disasters were earthquake and typhoon. Like, they're the ones you think of.
I mean,
I swear there's more.
I mean, the Great Khali's career was sort of a natural disaster, so...
Yeah, remember that time when India was hit by the Great Khali? Never
Oh,
the same afterward.
what a horrible
Never the same.
time. God rest them. Yeah. Anywho,
So yeah, that was fucking scary. I just thought that was worth talking about. Like, whoa.
yeah,
'Cause I
that,
know you're not going to care about the actual content of the New Japan tournament because you don't pay attention to any form of New Japan Pro Wrestling unless the elite are there.
no. If Cody and the rest of them are not there, I'm not interested.
You're such a fickle fan.
No, I'm not a fickle fan.
Don't you care about the ballad of Kota Ibushi becoming God, unifying the championships?
No, not really.
Care you not about Toru Yano and what fucking tricks he's gonna pull to win matches next?
No, not really.
Care you not for Will Ospreay and the... Okay, that's a bad example.
Yeah, I really don't.
Care you not for Shingo Takagi potentially winning this New Japan Cup?
No, not really.
Wow, you're fucking... That's great. I'm glad we do a wrestling show.
But you know what
together.
I do? You know what I do care about, Sam?
What's that?
Eric Bischoff. That's who I care. That's my best Vince impression.
Was that your attempt at a Vince impression?
Yes, like we have.
Eric Bischoff!
Oh, the best. That is the great. Like it's. Oh, I remember that. It was so weird, and I didn't even know who he was. I was just. Oh, he's just a guy. But
Oh
of
my
course,
god, it's Eric Bischoff!
I was
Mother,
like,
who's Eric Bischoff?
I don't know. I don't care. But like literally, like I remember Vince in his growly voice was Eric Bischoff. And you're like, who is that? A Biscoff? Isn't that a biscuit? I don't. What are you
I
talking about?
have a bottle of Biscoff spread in the cupboard actually. It's quite nice.
I do too. Is it bad every time
Crunchy.
I have like a packet of Biscoff biscuits? I'm like, I'm back.
I'm sure you're not the only one. I'm sure the comments will flood with people who also do that weird thing that you do.
Oh, I think I'm very unique. But here's the thing, though, Samuel. Eric Bischoff is going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. In a press release released by WWE, it says Eric Bischoff, a pioneer behind the scenes in sports entertainment, as well as an incredibly entertaining performer in front of the camera. He is the latest inductee in the WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2021. He will enter the WWE Hall of Fame during the 2021 induction ceremony, which will take place on Tuesday, April 6th, streaming exclusively on Peacock in the United States, on WWE Network in the rest of the world. Eric Bischoff broke into the sports entertainment industry in the late 1980s for fellow Hall of Famer Vern Gagne's AWA. We started off in sales, but then soon became an on-air talent, hosting AWA shows on ESPN and interviewing the legendary territory stars. But as the 1990s arrived, the AWA was on the brink of going out of business, so Bischoff made a move that would eventually change the industry. He joined...
See, I didn't know this. Like, he started off as a sales guy.
Yeah, like he's
humble beginnings.
He's basically a sales dude. Like I've seen some stuff from his background, and he's basically like a salesman of sorts. Like he did like a bunch of different little jobs before going into the AWA. I say little, I mean in comparison to running WCW. So there is a difference. But yeah, basically he was in sales, and then he joined WCW in 1991, hosting shows and calling the action on their weekly TV shows. But in the mid-1990s, Bischoff, who is that? Eric Bischoff had risen to the ranks and became the executive producer of WCW. He helped to bring in Hulk Hogan to WCW, launched Monday Nitro as a competitor to Monday Night Raw, that kicked off the Monday Night Wars, and helped to make sports entertainment a pop culture phenomenon. He didn't shy away from ending up in the spotlight on the camera either. After the WWE purchased WCW in 2001, he ended up in WWE in 2002 as the first general manager of Monday Night Raw, as well as making appearances during WCW in the NWO faction as they ran roughshod on the promotion. And it goes on to say, blah, 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 he feuded with Stone Cold, blah, blah, blah. So, basically, okay, I say blah, 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 that's not very nice.
Well, I mean, he came up with concepts like Raw Roulette and Elimination Chamber, which lives on as one of WWE's annual pay-per-view events. You thirsty? You having a drink?
Mm-hmm.
You having a little beverage?
Mm-hmm.
Good man. I'm glad you're unscrewing it right next to the microphone so that we can all hear it. I'm very happy about that. You're a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. For Bischoff's innovation behind the scenes and his memorable performance in front of a camera, there is no greater honor than induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. Okay, whatever you say. Alright. I mean, at this point, I think they're starting to run out of inductees, and they've suddenly realized, we've got a couple of big names that we just haven't put in yet for whatever reason. So now we're just going to put them all in. And then we're going to pull some more names out of our ass to fill out the fucking rest of the class. Because each class now has like 15 different inductees. Like,
yeah.
I can't even remember who went in last year.
Well, they didn't.
Or even the year before that.
They didn't do one last year because of COVID. And then the year...
Oh, did they really not do one at all?
They didn't do one at all. Because I think this year, the class from last year and the class of this year have been combined, and they're all going in.
Ah, you're correct. It will feature the induction of the 21st and 22nd classes into the WWE Hall of Fame. Due to the pandemic, it didn't happen last year. So the announced class of 2020, which I've completely forgotten exists.
Oh god,
so,
yeah. So I can't.
Let's have a look,
that.
shall we? Stroll down memory lane. So
just to say, the last Hall of Fame in 2019 was the one where Bret Hart got taken out by that fan.
Oh, I remember the Revival beat the shit out of a fan, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Wow, good times. So for the 2020 class, we have it in Batista.
Where? No, that's the wrong person. I work late. There you go.
There you go. Yeah. JBL. You don't. No. You're not doing this every single time. You're not singing the theme songs every single. Because the next one is British Bulldog. What's his theme?
Do 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 That's the song, isn't it? Yep, that.
Yep, brilliant. And Jushin Thunder Liger.
Candy. No, Kenny, don't come over here. Okay, good boy.
And then you got the New World Order and the Bella Twins.
You can look, but you can't touch.
Oh, this is rich. So on the Wikipedia thing, you have like WWE recognized accolades for a lot of these people. Batista's one has a star in multiple MCU films. He has been recognized by WWE as a pop culture phenomenon. That's their code for saying, we didn't really use him to the best of our ability, and we're butthurt that he found more success outside the ring.
Yeah, that's basically what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jushin Liger, considered by WWE to be one of the most revolutionary competitors in sports entertainment history.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, no,
that translates as to saying, we wish we booked him more than once in 2016.
Yeah, like WCW used him more, for fuck's sake.
He was a former light heavyweight champion in WCW.
Cruiserweight champion, that is the better.
No, light heavyweight.
Did what? What? What are you talking about?
It says on Wikipedia that he was an 11-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, which we all knew, and then one-time WCW Light Heavyweight Champion.
Wait a minute. I remember briefly they brought in a belt. Let's see, light heavyweight. Okay, I'm googling this now. Wow, yes. Why? It was only there for a year.
And he held it. That's impressive. He's in the Hall of Fame. What do you want?
He held
the fuck do you want from him?
Alright, so Brian Pillman was the first light heavyweight champion. Then it was Liger, then it was Brian Pillman again. Then Scotty Flamingo, who I believe is Raven.
Who the fuck is Scotty Flamingo?
That's Raven.
Oh my fucking god.
And then
Brad Armstrong?
What?
Oh, he's the son of Bullet Barber. Okay.
Right.
So the championship was vacated due to Brad Armstrong's injury. A tournament to crown a new champion was announced, but never held. Lol, WCW. Brilliant. Speaking of Brian Pillman, is he in the Hall of Fame?
I actually don't know. He's got to be, right?
Let me look at it.
Brian Pillman.
No, he's
what
not.
What the fuck? How the hell is he not in the Hall of Fame yet?
See, this is what I mean. Like, he's in various other Hall of Fames. He's not in the Wrestling Observer one, weirdly, but you think Brian Pillman would be as one of the stars of the Attitude Era, no?
Is he going? I swear he's. Is he not going in this year?
No. Actually, let's go back to. Oh fuck! I lost the inductees. Oh shit.
Oh no.
No, we got it. We're good. All right. Yeah, as I was saying, they all have their own little biographies, right? The Bella Twins. This is what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Well, first of all, they are joint winners of the 2013 Diva of the Year Slammy Award. So.
Great.
Nice.
That's really good. That is.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
They are recognized by WWE as having helped to usher in what became known as the Women's Revolution in WWE. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, the Women's Revolution was in spite of the Bella Twins.
Yeah,
not started by them. They were part of the problem.
Yeah,
weren't
they were brought in by and they were brought in by that guy. And like it was all part of the recruitment process where it'd be like, are you attractive woman? Yes. Do you want to join wrestling? Do you have any ability? Okay, minimal. All right, cool. Like literally.
Now let's get this out of the way, all right? There's the whole conversation about the Women's Revolution, about how WWE puts up these walls for themselves to knock down and then pat themselves on the back. You've got this whole thing of hiring women just for their looks and not necessarily for their in-ring ability.
Yeah.
The Bella Twins, there's nothing wrong with being attractive, all right? There's nothing wrong with being a beautiful woman.
I'm not saying that.
And their in-ring techniques and everything, they improved over the years. I think Brie did. I know that Nikki did for sure. Like, her matches towards the end of her active run were not that bad compared to what they were when they started. The point is, right? If you had asked me, like, who started off this fucking hashtag women's revolution, if we're going to give it a name, if you had to ask me who did it, I would say it would be Paige and Emma in NXT. Those were the ones who started it. And then on the main roster, it started with the bringing up of Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte.
And it's not to say they didn't improve over time, because they did, but...
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is that Nikki's matches towards the end of her career were a lot better than they were when she first started, which, you know, you should hope to expect from most people. But the improvements with her were a lot more significant than, say, Brie, who I don't think ever really improved much.
When you've
and they
got,
gained fame as mainstream celebrities after starring in the WWE-produced reality shows Total Divas and spin-off Total Bellas. The term mainstream and the term celebrities are a lot more flexible than we'd like to believe.
I mean, that's more of a...
It's like Stussy in the chat says, WWE likes praising themselves for breaking barriers that they themselves have set up. They gotta do something to make themselves feel better about being a shitty company for so long, and they are still continuing to be in other ways. But no, it's fine. You've got women who can wrestle now. What a thought. What a novel concept.
I don't know, I just feel like they're in the Hall of Fame. Is Lita in the Hall of Fame?
Lita is, yeah.
Is Trish in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Well, that's your point gone.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to know. But I mean, what I'm saying is like.
We should mention that that's the class of 2020. 2021 only has 2 inductees so far: Eric Bischoff and Molly Holly.
See, that makes more sense. Like, I don't I don't get it.
I mean, the Hall of Fame is a load of trite anyway. Like, it's all self-congratulatory. Like, it doesn't actually mean anything. There's no building. It's a special ring club that you are chosen to be in by Vince, if he likes you. And even then, you don't even have to be that noteworthy to be put in there.
Like the Illuminati or something.
It really is kind of like the Illuminati, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's just a secret club or a special club that you get invited into, and then you have special rings, and it doesn't mean anything.
You don't get any benefits from it, do you? They've never said anything like that.
I mean, you might be in the new game eventually when it comes out, but that might be about it.
You might be in the new game, you might be used as a brand ambassador, but really, it's just another accolade that they can put on you.
But
the
thing with Eric is, it's quite bizarre in some ways that the guy who at one point his sole aim in life was to kill the WWE is now in their Hall of Fame. Only Vince McMahon. Oh, he tried to kill me off, damn it. Still going to my Hall of Fame. But, like, literally, whether you like this or you don't like it is sort of irrelevant. If it weren't for Eric Bischoff, I don't think wrestling would probably exist to the extent that it does to this day. What you have to understand is, in 1996, right? I think this is off the heels of the steroid scandal, and you've got like the new generation where you've got pig farmers, dentists, trash men, and Minotaur, Mantar, or whatever the hell he was. And then in WCW, you've got the Dungeon of Doom and the Yeti and all this crap. If it weren't for Eric, we wouldn't be having this conversation about... this show probably wouldn't exist. Wrestling probably would have... WWF was actually going to die in 96. They just saved themselves. WCW, for donkey's years, the executives at Turner were like, please get rid of this pile of crap. And Eric actually made it a profitable company and actually changed the creative ways of doing things. It weren't cartoony anymore, whether you like it or you don't like it. When he brought in the NWO and changed into more kind of realistic personas and storylines, without Eric doing that, increasing the production and going live and stuff like that, wrestling probably wouldn't be the way it is today. It'd probably still be this cartoony thing that is done in your local gym by people who are dressed up as, I don't know, Farmer Frank. Right? Like, that would be what wrestling is today. As my cat is sat on me, dude. Fam, I'm trying to make a point. Do not go on the keyboard, good boy, because the stream will die. And if the stream dies, I will cry. So, yeah. Eric, back to my point. Eric changed everything. And if it isn't for his ideas and ways of doing things, I don't think wrestling would be around today.
Well, you say this, like, you could also say the same about characters that were around at the time, like Vince Russo. He arguably had an impact on wrestling, and yet we hate him for it, for some reason. Well, I'd say for some reason, we hate him for valid reasons, but that's besides the point.
But with Eric, though, like, with Eric...
You could say the same about Jim Cornette, also.
But with Eric, though, that he ran WCW, and also, okay, I know I wrote an article on why the rating system is shite, and also it might not have been as big a deal during the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars as people make it out to be, but he nearly killed WWE off. There's been no other company since or before, and maybe in the future, I don't know. But he actually nearly ended WWE. Now, that is a big deal. Can you imagine WWE going out of business now? No way. But he nearly did it. and
you got to admit, like, this was when wrestling was at its peak and everything, but
but my article says
WWE
not
is
peak.
Now.
Read my article, it's not the peak. Aha!
Well, the
you
peak being subjective. It's a retroactive peak. It's when wrestling was at its most popular in our minds, in our memories. Maybe in the ratings, not so much, but we ignore that, don't we? No, it makes for a better story.
I write articles about that.
Okay, you wrote an article. It's on Suplah.com. Go check it out, everybody. Suplah.com, the website we didn't update for about 2 years, and then now, bam, article. You're welcome. Keep them on their toes. Keep them surprised.
Exactly. But the point is that what he did do was change the way wrestling is produced, the creative, like, ideas, and just changing the overall cartoonish crap and making it more based in reality, which we haven't ever gone back to. Dentists, bin men, farmers. We haven't gone back to that. Like, we go back and into certain aspects.
We live in the golden age now of matadors and Stardust and other shit.
But those things haven't existed for a while as well. Like, what I'm saying is, not everyone had, like, fucking... Sparky Plug doesn't exist today, alright? There's a reason for that.
Yes, I suppose. But I don't care. I, instead, want to talk about the great snafu that was SmackDown executive director Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, but that's not his fault. Like, that's
Do you
the
remember
company
this?
being... Yeah, I mean, the company is stupid. Like, they brought in Heyman, they brought in Bischoff, and then they were just the fall guys for it, not, like, for their crap creative.
Well, there was
And
several
WWE's
sources that
crap
said
creative.
that Bischoff was at fault for not really knowing the product or the wrestlers.
Okay. But he didn't get long enough. He was only there for, what, 2 months or something?
My point is that less than 2 years ago, you had this guy under the SmackDown thing, and that blew up proportionally, and it was embarrassing. And now they decide to put him in the Hall of Fame. Just seems weird to me, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem odd to you?
I just don't think that was Eric's fault necessarily, because, like, if you're only in a job for 2-3 months, you only get, like, settled in a year in, maybe, like, in some lines of work. So it's like, well,
Well, this is an industry that he's been in for decades, and he's a television guy first and foremost. That's why he was hired in the first place.
Yeah, but you
And for
didn't
events
give
to
him,
just blow up after 8 weeks, like...
you didn't even give him a chance. It's just like, and to be fair, it wasn't going well before he got there, and then, like, and it continues to go badly, but you don't get the time to implement stuff. You don't get the time to, like... They wanted a quick fix, and they weren't going to get that, because, unfortunately, wrestling ratings have declined for so long that to get it back to a point where we're back in 1998 is going to take decades. So
It will never be that way again.
well, that's what I mean. Like, if, and it is a massive if it ever gets to that point, it's going to take decades and decades and decades and decades and decades. So
We'll be dead before wrestling is cool again.
yeah, and the thing is, it doesn't take 8 weeks. Like like, they wanted a fall guy. They just wanted someone to blame. They brought Eric in to try and create some buzz, and the ratings were still plummeting, but you can't implement stuff properly. Like, for instance, the change from the crappy, hokey stuff that WWF were doing back in the day, from, like, 96 to the end of, like, 97, took, like, a year. So, I mean, why would you fire someone after 8 weeks? I don't know. And, I don't know. I just don't think it's a fair thing to blame Eric for that. I think it's just WWE being like, we want to blame someone,
I'm not saying
blame
it's
him.
to blame or anything. I'm just saying that it's odd that they went through that whole drama and now he's being put in the Hall of Fame. Is this like a recompense? Is this a thank you or an apology? What could this be?
Possibly. I mean, they fucked him over because he had to move to Connecticut. He lives in, because I listened to 83 Weeks.
Oh my god, you're one of those people.
No. He has some good opinions. I don't agree with it necessarily everything he says. Like, there's bits where I
You're
go,
one of those people that listens to other wrestling podcasts. Why would you not listen to ours?
because I hate
On
listening.
repeat.
I hate listening to myself. Like, that's the
Forever. Have it on in the background all the time.
I don't necessarily agree with all of his opinions, right? Granted, but he moved. Like, where did he live?
I don't know where he fucking lived. I'm not his dad.
Basically, he says, "Oh, I'm here in what is it, Wyoming or something? I don't know." And he's like, "Oh, it's lovely here. The mountains are great. I love mountains. I don't know." And he's like, "I got dogs." He's not Stone Cold, but whatever. And the point is, he had to move from that place all the way to Greenwich, Connecticut, to then fire him after 8 weeks. He uprooted his entire life to go to Stamford, Connecticut, which, last time I checked, is like a city or a big town. Not like in the middle
No,
of...
it's just some
nowhere.
dregs. It's some backwater alley where WWE likes to base themselves. Yeah, it's a fucking big city. Are you kidding?
And that's what I mean. The dude, like, uplifted his...
As you screw the bottle cap back on very loudly.
Shush, we're a professional show. But he uplifted his entire life, and then they just fire him after 8 weeks. I'd be fuming. I'd be like, fuck off. But it's the thing that you said earlier. It's this magic ring cult thing. Where you're like, oh...
It's the magic cult.
Oh,
It brings you back in.
Oh, I love the ring. I love the shiny. He's not
My
a crow, for
precious
fuck's
Hall of
sake.
Fame ring.
Yeah, like, I don't... If I was Eric, I'd be like, no, you can get to fuck. Like, no, you fired me.
He wants the glory. He wants to feel like he belongs in the only game in town. Because he went to AEW, did a couple of appearances. Was that good enough? Apparently not. Because he fucked off, and now he's in the Hall of Fame. He's going to be trapped in a glass box forever, and will only be let out when they want to put him on Raw where the ratings are shit.
But they can do both. He could do both. I mean, like, he's not contracted to anyone. He just makes appearances, which is fair enough.
Yeah, but if you get put in the Hall of Fame, you're gonna have some allegiance to that company. Otherwise, they're just gonna fucking never give you another opportunity ever again.
No, I don't know. I mean, some people got away with it.
Speaking of getting away with things, you have something to answer for in our chat room.
Oh,
Andrew.
me? What's that?
Username KOU187.
Hello,
Where is Liam Dunn?
KOU187.
He belongs in the Hall of Fame, is what he says.
Liam Dunn, he left the show because he didn't watch wrestling anymore, and he felt that he couldn't be a part of the show in a... what's the word I'm looking for, Sam?
I don't fucking know. I don't know what you're trying to say.
In like in a informed way. He I don't know. He couldn't stand to watch it anymore, which is fair enough.
It wasn't fun, so he didn't want to do this anymore, which is fair. Sometimes we stop doing it for months on end because it's not fun. That's how life works, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, and the only reason I'm doing this is because it takes my mind off things. So...
They also say, Andy, do you remember when you and Liam staged a fake beef online and pretended to hate each other? I actually fell for it and thought it was real.
Sorry. I mean,
say?
At the end of the day, those were...
They actually hate each other, you know.
No, we don't. I spoke to him today for like an hour on the phone.
You mean he yelled at you on the phone for an hour about how much of a little twat you are? About how much of a weird little fucking freak of nature that you are? You little nasty little rap boy in the walls. That's what he said to you, wasn't it? You can't hide it. You can't hide these true feelings.
What are you talking about? But no, I don't know what to say. It was a good idea at the time.
When was the time? 2011? 2012?
No, it was earlier than that. It was like 2010, I want to say. I think that's, yeah. But like at the end
That was 11 years ago.
I can't believe people fell for it as well. I was like, what? I can't.
Hey, have some respect for the audience, alright?
I don't.
Can't believe they fell for it like they're a bunch of morons.
Fucking marks. Look at all of them. No, I mean in the sense that I'm a shit actor. Like that was more what I was getting.
No one's fucking Leo DiCaprio over here. Like, you were just trying to be CM Punk.
I was trying to be Kenny's looking at me really weird and I'm very scared. I don't know what he's doing.
Amazing. Hirog Naiko says, for one Hall of Fame ring to rule them all, WWE's Pokeball to summon you at any time.
Yeah, but you got it. But the thing is, like, Eric's achievements do deserve recognition.
This is part of a longer conversation about how the Hall of Fame is a weird, like, hive mind and isn't a real thing. It's a cult with rings. That's what it is.
Well, yeah. All you need now is the Kool-Aid.
Congratulations, Eric Bischoff. Drink the Kool-Aid. Wear the ring. Be a part of us forever. Then, now,
because I saw the clip on
that fucking tagline of "Then, Now, Forever" is really, really creepy when you think about the lengths that this company goes to sometimes.
Yeah, like, and the other thing as well is like Eric's reaction. Because I watched the...
Oh, let me guess. His reaction. I am so thrilled and I'm so honoured to be a part of the company's legacy.
It's bizarre. He's like nearly crying. And I'm like, well, it's not bizarre.
That's what they all fucking do. Literally every single person has to act this way. If they acted any differently, it'd be a little weird. Remember when Hulk Hogan was inducted into the Hall of Fame being like, I'm not really feeling it, brother. I guess, Jack, I'm happy, kind of, maybe. Brother, pasta mania. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
No one's going to be like miffed, or no one's going to be on the fence
Yeah,
about
I know
this.
that, but it's just like, I don't know, it's just...
It's like it's a script they're all given. You're given the ring, you're given the script with the cue cards about how you're so honored to be a part of WWE's legacy and their history forever
Yeah, but I don't
and ever.
I just don't get, like... It's not a real thing. This Hall of Fame...
There's no building, there's
Yeah.
no, like, plaques, there's no marble monuments like the fallen of the blip in the MCU. There's no just monoliths out in the desert with these names on.
There's nothing at WWE headquarters. There's nothing. There's
You know what it is? It reminds me of being in the playground. And you had these, like, candy fake rings that certain kids would wear. And they're like, we're in a secret club. We have special rings. Like, what do you do in this secret club?
No homers
have
allowed.
Rings. Yeah, exactly. Like, what does being in the Hall of Fame really mean?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. And I hit
There's
my
no
knee on the
plaque.
table.
There's no statue. Maybe I'm just being negative for the sake of it.
Well, I mean,
But I'm just saying.
there may be one day, but like as it stands,
This thing has been around since the middle of the 90s, if you want to get technical. That was first class, where it was literally just Andre the Giant.
Yeah, that was
And
it.
that was the class. That was, what, 95, 96?
But then they didn't do it again for...
They left it for like 10 years. 2004,
Yeah,
I think?
something like that,
2005 was like the start of it being like a well-rehearsed yearly annual thing, right?
I think what they've gone and done is
They've gone and made a big mistake. And we can't allow for them to just walk away.
You done it now, you gone and done the thing you did, and I can't allow you to go do that thing you did. Anyway, so, you gotta...
Let's have a look at the history, alright?
Yes.
Let's have a look at the history. So that we are journalists. We have to get the facts right.
Andreas the Giant was first.
Andrei Rusimov in 1993.
Okay.
There was no ceremony.
Yeah, they just said he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. Brilliant. 1994.
There wasn't one.
Yeah, there was.
Was there? Gorilla
Yeah.
Monsoon.
Yeah. Gorilla Monsoon,
Yeah, I thought it was.
Freddie Blassie, Jay Strongbow, Buddy Rogers, Bobo Brazil, Arnold Scarland, and James Dudley.
Okay, is this a game where I guess it, yeah? Is this what we're doing?
Fine, let's go.
Hooray!
1995.
Ooh, 95, okay. Gorilla hadn't died yet, so it won't be Gorilla. Ooh.
He was put in the last year.
Oh, was it?
He was-
Okay.
He was
Oh.
put in 1994. He's literally the first name you guessed.
I don't know then. Who was in 95?
George the Animal Steel, Big Cat Ernie Ladd, Ivan Putski, Fabulous Moolah, Pedro Morales, and I'm sorry, the Grand Wizard.
Yeah, that was his name.
The Grand Wizard.
Yep, yeah, that's very problematic.
1996.
Okay, 96.
Come on, you got to guess a couple here.
Well, Vince's dad had to go in at some point, so Vince's dad?
Yep.
Okay, Vince's dad.
Vincent J. McMahon. Let's try and just guess one name, otherwise we'll be here all day. So Vincent J. McMahon, Pat Patterson, Killer Kowalski, Johnny Rods, Superfly Snooker, Captain Lou Albano, aka Mario, and Baron Michael. Yeah,
Okay.
not even going to try and pronounce those names. And then you have the Valiant Brothers as well as a group. And then nothing until 2004.
Okay,
Any memories from that? Quite a few big names, honestly.
Sergeant Slaughter.
This is when... Yeah!
Yeah!
Sergeant
got
Slaughter, Big John Studd, Don Morocco, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Harley Race, Jesse the Body Ventura, Junkyard Dog, Superstar Billy Graham, Tito Santana, and Bobby the Brain Heenan, with the first ever celebrity inductee being Pete Rose, inducted by Kane.
Oh, that does make sense, though.
And this is the point where they started doing headliners of the class. So 2005, see if you can remember. 2005, who was a headliner?
Hulk Hogan.
Yep. Do you know who he was inducted by? Give you a clue, he's not a wrestler.
Stallone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Sylvester Stallone.
What the
Why?
Rocky.
Why? What about Rocky?
He's in Rocky. Hulk Hogan's in Rocky 3.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yes.
Sorry, I only remember Hulk Hogan for his big roles like Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando and that one episode of Baywatch and all those other shits. He also had Roddy Piper, Bob Orton Jr., Jimmy Hart, Paul Orndorff, Nikolai Volkov, and Iron Sheik. 2006, who was a headliner?
Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bought the Hitman shot. Inducted by Stone Cold. He had Eddie Guerrero, Mean Gene, Sherry, Vern Gagne, Tony Atlas, Black Jacks, and William the Refrigerator Perry.
Okay,
Don't know why.
I don't know either.
2007. Considering your love for AEW, this is going to be embarrassing.
No. Would it be Dusty Rhodes?
Yes, Dusty Rhodes, ding ding. You also had Mr. Perfect, Kurt Perfect, King Jerry Lawler, Nikki Bockywinkle, Mr. Fuji-san, Sheik, Jim Ross, and the Wild Samoans.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
This is when I started watching, so I remember. 2008.
It's gotta be Ric Flair then, isn't it?
It was Ric Flair.
Yeah, because that was that WrestleMania where he got kicked in the face and that was it. Allegedly. Yeah. And then he went back to TNA.
But we don't remember that, do we? We don't remember him in the wheelchair going woo.
Do
we?
That didn't happen.
2009.
By God, I think it's Austin, isn't it?
It was Austin, yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm getting good at this.
2010. This is a tough one, to be fair. I don't think even I would have remembered this.
Shawn?
No, that was 2011.
Oh.
2010 was Ted DiBiase, $1 Million Man.
That was the main one.
Yep.
They were scraping the fucking barrel then, like...
Look at the rest of the class. Antonio Inoki, Wendy Richter, Mad Dog Vachon, Gorgeous George, Stu Hart.
Oh, that's a bad one. Ted DiBiase...
And then 2011, you
deal,
had Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, of course.
Yeah,
2012...
Okay, so...
You know this. You know this.
It's gotta be Edge then, right?
It's gotta be Edge.
That's gotta be Edge.
2013. Oh, this is a class for the ages.
No, it's either Bruno or Mick Foley. I don't know which one it was now. I can't remember.
Bruno is technically the headliner because, they struggled to get him in until at the last minute, and then they made him a headliner. But yeah, Mick Foley was in it too. Bob Backlund, Trish Stratus, Booker T, and the former president of the United States of America,
Bill Clinton.
J. Trump.
Oh.
Hey, remember when Bill Clinton got a stunner? That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That would have been better than anything else. 2014, Ultimate Warrior. 2015, Randy Savage. 2016, Stong. 2017, Burt Fangle. 2018, Gilberg. 2019, DGX. And then, yeah. There's no real headliner for 2020. I'm guessing it's Batista.
I would presume they're going to go big, beefy, big banging Batista.
Why isn't China in the Hall of Fame yet?
Well, she technically is going in, or she's already in as DX, or in DX.
Yeah, but she needs a solo induction, doesn't
Well,
she?
yeah, I mean, it's not right. Really.
I like how we go on this fucking tirade being like, what is the Hall of Fame but a secret cult? And then we're like, but why isn't this person in the secret cult?
Oh God, we're in the cult.
Oh no.
Now get us out, get us out, get us out.
Oh, get fucked. The Wikipedia article has a See Also section, and it is list of honors and awards received by Donald Trump. Get fucked, Wikipedia. Jesus Christ.
That's
so it's Fastlane this weekend.
Oh yeah. Right. I haven't seen a lot of WWE because mourning. So, explain what's happening.
So, let's go on a trip down, not memory lane, it's current time. So,
just tell me what's happening. That's
a
all.
trip down ignorance lane to
Okay.
see what we've ignored. Okay? So,
Oh. It's MJF. Anyway, continue. I forgot to turn my phone off. Sam?
seriously?
My bad.
Really?
Yes.
Who calls you? You don't have any friends besides me.
Do you want me to tell you who it is? Because I don't know if I should say it live.
Oh, I don't want to say anything in case the government come and find me.
No, it's not that. It's just I think it was Kim's mum who tried to ring me just then.
So, the first match
Okay.
of Fastlane 2021,
Is
supposedly, is Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler with Reginald. This was a mistake. We should never have got onto this topic.
Oh, should we just not talk about it then?
Versus the team of Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair for the tag team championship.
Great.
Who the fuck is Reginald?
Reginald is like a friend of Carmella's who is like.
Then why is he in a match with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler?
Because
What's going on?
He's not like most.
Yeah, he's not like most.
Yeah, he's not like.
He only gives his wine to Nia Jax now.
I guess.
I mean, what the fuck is this shit?
I don't know, man.
It's something. They're doing that thing again where they have people that are going to fight for a singles title get a shot at the tag titles, and they might win the tag titles because they've done that before, haven't they?
Oh.
Several times.
Oh, they did it with Cena and Michael years ago.
What is the honest to God point of that? What does it add?
Well, it adds tension because they're a tag team, but they're not a tag team, so... Ooh.
They're not a tag team. They never will be a tag team. Just because you put two people on the same team in a tag team match, for tag team, they are not. Just because they hold the tag team championships
Oh, but you don't get it.
doesn't mean they're a tag team.
You don't get it, Sam. They're enemies, but they're tag team champions.
It adds a whole fourth dimension to this riveting novelle that we're reading. I'm Vince McMahon, and I love fucking things up for no reason.
Yeah, that's
Why do they still have these championships? They're being held by Shayna Baszler, who should have a singles title, and Nia Jax, who should be fired. Why is this your current reigning defending tag team champions? And not only this, they had a match with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez on NXT. They were building up a whole fucking thing because this new tag team of Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, very entertaining, great performers in NXT, they were going to win the tag team championships, but no, they had a fuck finish with Scrap Daddy interfering in the match. And so what did they do? What did they do, Andy?
They fucked it up.
Do you know what they did? Do you know what they did in response to that?
I don't know what they did. What did they do?
They made their own tag team championships for the women of NXT. And get this! They were awarded to Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. But they lost it that night to Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart.
Huh?
This is like a universe mode, but it's really shit.
That's how they book this. There's like, well, the game is broken, so we should, emulate it by doing broken booking. I think that's a great idea.
Don't have a tag team division if you don't have tag teams. It's as simple as that. And don't break up tag teams like Heavy Machinery and the Usos if you're just gonna fuck it up by making shop-shot teams like Alpha Academy and other random shit just to give the championships some screen time. There's no point. I really don't like this at all.
I miss tag teams who their whole thing was being in a team. Like, I don't know why.
If you pay attention to the tag teams that we have in Raw, there's a theme there, and there's a reason why we prioritize having tag teams that are career tag teams. You're never going to get Gorp from the Mighty Sequelians just randomly winning a singles title, are you?
No, well, I mean, maybe, but no.
It'd be cool, but point being, you're not going to have
What about
tag
Mandy?
teams that just get... Oh, yeah, which one is that?
I don't know, actually.
No one knows. Not even they know.
Oh, Jesus.
Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan with Edge as the special guest enforcer in a singles match for the Universal Championship. Now, this is interesting.
Okay.
This has implications for WrestleMania.
It does have implications for the Wrestle of the Manias.
So they're having this whole thing where Daniel Bryan is involved in the championship picture again, and it doesn't seem like he's booked for the WrestleMania card again. So then they're probably going to have this match end in a screwy finish so he gets added in as a triple threat again.
Oh, history
Here's the
repeats
thing,
itself.
History may repeat itself, but I don't want it to. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. As much as I love the fact that Edge is back and is able to wrestle again, he shouldn't have won the Rumble.
Yeah, he should have.
You know who should have won the Rumble?
I don't know. Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. If I were in charge of booking, I literally would have had it be that, like, you build up Daniel Bryan before the event as being like, it's now my time to do this. I've done so much. This is like one of the few things I haven't done. It's about time. 7 years ago, everyone wanted me to win. Haven't won since. Now's the time. But then for some reason, you had Edge come in and win the thing. But I don't know why. Roman Reigns is the champion. He's the tribal chief. He's the best heel in the company. He's probably not going to lose. And if he does lose, I wouldn't want it to be to Edge, because what good comes from that? It doesn't put Roman over any. Edge has already had a legendary career. He's literally in the Hall of Fame. He's in the secret ring cult. What more does he need? He doesn't need anything. You know what he needs? He needs to put people over. That's his job now. That's what he should be doing.
But my thing is, how much longer has Bryan got, though? Realistically, how much longer has he got?
Exactly. How much longer has he got? Give him another world title.
Okay. But I mean,
or even if you're gonna have like the match where it's Bryan versus Reigns, have Reigns win it. Have him be mega ultra heel. Have him go over people. And then when someone beats him, it's gonna be fucking great.
I mean, they were doing that when he was a babyface anyway, and people were booing him. So what's the difference?
They're booing him because he's a heel now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're booing him now for the reason why, like the actual like they have him go over people where people wanted him to win or wanted him to lose. Sorry, and he was going over people. So just
history do be repeating itself, doesn't it?
It do be repeating, Samuel. It do be repeating.
Other matches on the card: Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus in a no-holds-barred match. So here's the deal on this.
Okay.
We're familiar with the odyssey of Bobby Lashley winning the WWE Championship.
It's
already been announced that he's facing Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. So there's that match.
Okay, that could be.
So now you have the blow off to this feud with Sheamus and Drew.
I thought they already. I thought they finished
the start
this
of the year.
I thought they finished this on Raw.
Nah.
For God's sake, they beat the piss out of each other for like 25 minutes. Like, I thought that was it.
But then they both knocked each other out with the steel steps, you see.
Oh, for God's
So there was no real winner.
So what are they going to do in this one?
Now
Get rid of the steps. No steps allowed.
Yeah, that's the name of the match. No steps allowed match.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just think this is an obvious conclusion that Drew's going to win to give him steam going into WrestleMania against Bobby Lashley, where he's probably going to win the championship again, this time in front of a crowd rather than no one. Well, Big Show. But that's where I think this is going.
Yeah,
predictable.
I mean, yeah, okay.
You've got United States Champion Riddle.
Okay, yeah.
Versus Mustafa Ali.
Is Retribution still a thing?
Yep.
Why?
Don't know.
Okay. That is the level of care. That is like the level of care I have for that match.
This is the thing, right? I love when there's like shit in wrestling because that's when this show is most entertaining. Remember Aces and Eights?
Oh god, but there was elements of that were okay-ish, sort of, maybe.
No, the entire point of that was that it was all enjoyably bad. This is frustratingly bad.
Yeah, no.
That's the difference. And we can't provide the funny ha-has when the group itself sucks and you got T-Bar on Twitter being like, the T stands for trans rights. And the B stands for Black Lives Matter. Don't get me wrong, alright? Disclaimer. Trans lives do matter, and Black lives do matter.
Yes.
Your name is T-Bar. Your name is T-Bar, and you are a heel on television.
Like,
This isn't Dominic Dijakovic tweeting this out. If it were, that'd be normal. But no. You've got Threshold Bar sat between the doors in his house, because that's what a T-Bar does. You got him tweeting out, the T means trans rights, the B means Black Lives Matter. What does the A and the R mean, Andrew?
The A means...
All cops are bastards. And the R means...
racism is bad.
There you go.
T-Bar.
Teabag.
I mean, I'm honestly shocked this this Retribution thing has been disbanded.
Still
yet.
going.
Why?
Still going on.
How?
Why?
Why?
What
purpose
Who?
does it serve?
Where?
So bad.
When?
So awfully bad.
I really like Mustafa Ali. I hope he wins the United States Championship. That would be really fun. I just don't want this group to exist anymore.
Just get him off my television and then it'll be fine.
It's not on your television. You don't watch this shit. We've been over this.
Oh yes, I watch AEW. That's it.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Messiah, Seth Rollins.
Okay.
I don't know why this is happening. Let me go to WWE.com, your official news source for all WWE news results, photos, and videos. See why the fuck this is happening.
It should be good, but I don't know why.
Oh yeah, this is a dream match, but I swear to God we were having, like, Seth feud with Cesaro. Oh, this is what's happened. You've got Seth and Cesaro feuding, because Seth is like, you could be greater, Cesaro, you could be in the main event, and I, the Messiah, Seth Rollins, husband to the man, Becky Lynch, trademark, I can take you to that level. And Cesaro's like, fuck off. No, I don't want you. You're crazy. You smell bad.
What? Did he actually say you smell bad?
No, I'm trying to make it entertaining for the people at home. They're
right,
not doing a good job.
I see. Sorry, my cat was
because...
himself.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm really glad we know this.
Thank you.
You've got the connection between Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura when they were tag team champions in a group with Sami Zayn, who's gone on to be really funny and entertaining in his own right. And I guess that's just a stopgap for when you get the eventual Seth versus Cesaro match at WrestleMania.
I see. That makes sense.
This should be a good match.
Yeah, it should be good. I just... Okay. Yeah.
This one is some big meaty men slapping me.
Oh, I like big slappy meat.
Big men bumping me.
Big...
For the Intercontinental Championship, you have Big E versus Apollo Crews.
Good lord. What a match. That's going to be amazing.
Have you seen anything of Apollo Crews lately?
He is a descendant of Nigerian prince.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I'm actually royalty. Fuck off.
He's gained a personality.
He actually is a human being, which is amazing because all I knew him for was I just smile at everything like a robot.
You know what the worst part is?
What's the worst part?
Dave Meltzer thinks that it's racist.
He is an idiot.
Here's the full quote, alright? From a Wrestling Observer.
No, he's a moron. Like how? No. Okay, go.
Here's the quote so that we can give this some light, okay?
Dave, man.
Cruz now has a gimmick where he's a Nigeria chief. He comes out with an entourage. He carries a spear like he's an African tribesman. He now talks with Nigerian accent that he sometimes falls out of. It is a new character, and it's so horribly racist and stereotypical that I can't believe they're doing it this year. Like, it would have been embarrassing 35 years ago, and wrestling has progressed greatly since then. He's basically doing Armand Hussein, who was a mid-level heel in the late 70s and early 80s, except on a bigger budget where they can afford loyal subjects in the entourage. A large percentage of the sleazy promoters of the 70s and 80s wouldn't even touch this.
Oh, okay, so, right. Does he then, using that logic, does he think the movie Black Panther is super racist?
He must do, because they're all stereotypically dressed up in African garb.
Don't worry, it's Black
the
Panther.
movie takes place in Africa.
And also, it's one of the highest grossing movies of all time. So, what are you talking about, you big silly goose? Like, what are you on about?
There's a difference between having a cultural gimmick
and Kamala. There's a fucking difference.
Wherein the person is actually Nigerian. Apollo Crews, Uha.
It's not one-man gang being dressed up as someone from Africa, for fuck's sake. Like, it's not...
What's his real name? Apollo? I know it's Uha something, because he used to be Uha Nation.
Yeah, but I don't see what the problem is. Like, I don't
know how to pronounce that name, but his last name is Uha, right? He's Nigerian. Yeah. He's a descendant of Nigeria, alright? The only way this would be a racist gimmick was if he worked in a call center and was asking for your bank account details. That's why it would be racist, because that is what we call a stereotype.
Yeah,
which are bad.
Like, yeah, I don't see what, like...
However, this real African-American, which, you know, that's pretty good. That's a pretty nice callback to the real Americans. Yeah, it makes sense, and I like it.
Yeah, I don't see what the issue is. I think Dave is just...
He speaks like he's on Tumblr, just being offended at everything.
Yeah, there's a line, Dave, and this is why right-wing people hate
the snowflake liberals.
Wokeism. Like, this is the reason why. This is precisely the reason why, because of shit like this.
The guy's getting a push. He could probably even win the championship this Sunday. But no, it's racist because it's Nigerian. But like, fuck off, Dave.
But that's like me, like, I don't know, becoming a wrestler and, I don't know, being like, I am the son of a Gaelic king. Well, that makes sense. I am the great-great-great-grandson of a Gaelic king, and I'll be dressed up like Sheamus. But, like, but you know what I mean? Like, that's...
I mean, you could argue there's a conversation to be had about getting heat on a person rather than heat on a culture, which I can understand.
I can understand that bit, but...
The way that they're doing it is that there's heat on Apollo for being a dickhead.
Yeah, like, it's just like...
Like, good for you for embracing your roots. You could have done this, like, 5 years ago when you showed up.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's not as if it's, say... I don't know... The Nation of Domination or something, where you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean. Like, this is
that was bad.
It's actually like saying I'm from Nigeria, and that actually makes me better than everybody because I'm like this long lost royalty. So if anything, you're actually pushing up somebody's heritage. Rather than being like, ooh, black people, boo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what is happening. Like, Dave has got the wrong end of the stick. That it doesn't make any sense. Like, that's not... He's got it completely wrong. Because that's what the Nation of Domination was originally. It's like, oh, African American people, boo. Like, that's what it was. And, like, this isn't that.
This is just a dominant man
If
embracing
anything,
his roots.
it's just a royalty gimmick. That's all it is. It's all it is. It's just it's William Regal being a king, or Jerry the King Lawler being a king. It's the same thing. It's not. You're looking into it too much. For God's sake.
But that match is going to be good, and I hope Apollo wins, just to be like, haha, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And then finally, because we have one more match we have to talk about, in the long storied rivalry, it's been going on for as long as I can remember, honestly.
It's been 84 years.
100 years ago, children would hear the stories of Randy Orton versus The Fiend. Except this time, we have an intergender match. Because
Oh boy.
Randy Orton is going to be fighting Alexa Bliss.
Oh, God.
So, in December...
Oh, he said
December.
He said I'm on fire, but it wasn't him. It was a dummy. Yeah.
He beat The Fiend in an Inferno match, and he lit the body on fire. Following this incident, Alexa Bliss, who had aligned herself with Fiend months earlier,
That's been like the worst thing for her entire career.
began to haunt Orton on a weekly basis, including causing him to lose multiple matches and vomit up black substances.
This is so bad.
On the March 15th episode of Raw, Bliss challenged Orton to an intergender match at Fastlane, and Orton accepted in the hopes of ridding Bliss from his life. Here's what I don't understand.
Yep.
Where the fuck is this going? I hope it builds towards The Fiend versus Orton at WrestleMania, where The Fiend wins. But where does this match lead? The Fiend will probably come back. There'll probably be some fuckery. The match will probably not even be a match. I doubt. I would love to see. Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton have a match, because intergender wrestling is pretty cool, if you ask me.
I just think The Fiend will win at Fastlane, and then Orton gets his heat back at Mania.
No, that's not happening. I refuse to believe that.
That is what's happening. That's.
I want to see just Randy Orton just beat the fuck out of Alexa Bliss. Just because it would be funny. It'd be funny.
Maybe he RKO's The Fiend out of her.
Yeah, they're kind of doing this thing where she's like possessed, but we don't know what by.
No, he's possessed by The Fiend and his derpy derp and let me in. So bad. I hate Bray Wyatt. I've never liked him. I don't think I ever will.
This is why I don't like talking about wrestling with you.
The Fiend is stinky, not give. He's just bad. He was on fire!
So that's Fastlane, everybody.
Okay, I'm not watching this event.
I tried, ladies and gentlemen. I tried.
I might try and watch the Big E and Apollo match, but I think that'll be it. That's the only thing.
Shinsuke and Rollins not going to do anything for you?
Okay, maybe, yeah. But there be the
Is Reginald not going to do anything for you?
I don't know what a Reginald is, and
Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan not going to do anything for you?
Probably not. No, depends what the ending is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Fastlane. That was the Hall of Fame with Eric Bischoff. That was an earthquake in Japan. That was the Suplah this week.
Yes, so ladies and gents, if you have enjoyed that show, please subscribe, ring bells or whatever you do here. Also, we have a gaming channel where we used to play games on the regular. You can go back and watch us play games, like me trying to play Resident Evil, which is a barrel of laughs. And we also have a online store at Redbubble. If you go to redbubble.com/people/the Suplah, you can buy merchandise. I wrote an article on Suplah.com because we forgot we had a website. So you can go there and read that. What else is there, Sam?
Suplah Brawl is coming up with our next event, In Your Spouse.
Oh, you actually went with that.
Which will be headlined
Oh my God.
by Andrew Kwan versus Carmine Antonelli
I
for the Suplah Brawl Championship in a 20-minute Iron Man match.
Holy God.
This is it.
Can I tell you who came up with the In Your Spouse name?
Go for it.
It was Kim. So that's really strange that she came up with that name, and I'm in the main event of a show.
For the championship.
For the championship. That's actually amazing. Life is weird sometimes. So yeah, when is that coming out, Samuel?
Coming out soon. Keep your eyes peeled. We're waiting for the commentary, and then it will be out a few days after the recording session.
Wonderful. So there's that. And is there anything else that I have forgotten, Samuel?
No, go away. We're done.
Alright, let's play the outro, then we do the weird thing at the end, because YouTube cuts us off sometimes, because... yeah. So thank you very much for joining us on this week's edition of the Suplah. We will be back sometime next week. Hopefully. I'm not too sad. But whatever. Thank you for joining us. Godspeed. Stay safe. Thank you very much. And have a good night. Good morrow.
Fuck off.